And off the Moa, he slips a tackle of Mason Cobb. Still on his feet, dragging his way. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Tifu! Sione Moa putting together a highlight reel run.
And off to number 4, Sione Moa for a gain of the
Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann & Associates. Call them now for a free consultation, 801-754-4240, or go to utah.law. Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty, Litster, Dane, Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann & Associates.
That's right, Dusty, a full-service law firm, locations throughout the state of Utah, up and down the Wasatch Front, including all the way down in St. George. And if you have any business needs, any personal needs, living will and trust, whatever it might be, call the experts at Heidemann & Associates. And if you tell them Deseret News Rewind sent you, free consultation, 801-754-4240.
And it's people like Justin Heidemann who support us, allow us to keep bringing this content,
possible. Right.
Support those who support us, especially if something's coming up. And I can tell you, Justin's going to take care of you. Known him for a long time, there to take care of you. And also Utah Army National Guard, $20,000 in signing bonuses, depending on the job that you want training on. It's not just about your service, though. Today we're filming on Veterans Day. I want to thank those men and women who have served in our armed forces. And go check out the Utah Army National Guard. Go to nationalguard.com. Learn how you can get up to $20,000 in a signing bonus or in education assistance. Big week.
Yeah.
We were going to shoot in front of Rice-Eccles Stadium, but in fairness, we're doing 2A and as well, 3A, so why not come
We couldn't make it to Dixie State, so...
Although we'd like to.
Yeah, I know, right?
Only one of us can be right in the 2A championship game. We'll get into that one. I'm not pointing at him, both of us.
Only one of us can be right in 3A, too. The other one has no shot. We'll get to that.
Yes, we will. All right, well, first normally we go into opening statements, in one to talk about each game, we're going to go with the opening start here. We normally do best of, but this is brought to you by Heidemann & Associates. And again, to get that free consultation, go to utah.law. Let's start in 6A, shall we? First, let's go with the most impressive win. And anytime you score 50 points and pitch a shutout, that's pretty doggone impressive. And it was Cole, don't call me Dalton, Dusty, Hagen, who absolutely lit it up for Corner Canyon.
4 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 26-0 as a starter. Record going to be on the line in the next 2 weeks. Later this tournament goes, I think some potential interesting matchups. I know Corner Canyon fans probably rolling their eyes, but you might have some interesting semifinal championship match, but Cole Hagen continue to do what he does. And that offense right now looking really good. But as much as we talk about the defense, how about pitching the shutout against Syracuse? And this is a team that beat Pleasant Grove. I mean, they've shown they can put up points, and that Corner Canyon defense really showed up. And, I mean, leave no doubt. Yeah,
no doubt left. Yeah. And the reigning 5A champion gets up to Rice-Eccles Stadium. Let's talk about the game that got him. Their opponent, Lone Peak, goes into Kearns. Tougher game than I think maybe Lone Peak expected. Kearns hung around here, but Lone Peak got the win. Yeah,
Kearns with some turnovers ended up, gifting the ball to Lone Peak a little bit, but that Lone Peak offense, Dusty, starting to come around. Pepper's starting to come around, right? And you're starting to see that passing attack do what they were hoping it would do. But how about Nate Ritchie, Mr. Do-It-All, 2 rushing touchdowns in this ball game for Lone Peak. Also had a field goal, 5 for 5 on extra points. We talk about a young man who got to be in the running for Mr. Football. The way he contributes to Lone Peak, he did it again this week. That Kearns team, I've said I think that's the best team that Coach Rickards has. He returns some talent next year. He loses some really good talent, but Kearns, they made this a ball game. This is a 10-point game in that second half before things ultimately got away from them. Lone Peak, though, playing the right way at the right time of year, and I think it sets up a real interesting semifinal.
Nate Ritchie has got to be a part of that offense.
He does,
only 2 games left in the season, potentially. Can't leave anything out.
Right.
Got to go with everything, and but we'll see how they do here. So that means Corner Canyon, Lone Peak. We wanted the rematch. We get the rematch. We'll preview it later.
Yeah.
On the other end, AF goes into Harriman, and this was a place where AF fell, sending down a little bit of a dismal run.
Yeah.
It sent Harriman off in the regular season, but how about here in the postseason? This was all AF, and it was pretty early.
And they did it by kind of stealing Harriman's game plan. Jackson Gregory with 3 rushing touchdowns. Madsen didn't even throw a touchdown in this game. I was like, was he hurt? Did he play? Yeah, he played. They just decided we're going to power the football. And you had Greening to Downing was the only passing touchdown in that ball game for American Fork. 28-14 over Harriman. They get revenge the first time. Can they protect the revenge that is coming their way?
Well, how about the repeat? Well, first of all, there are mountains we all got to climb, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
And for East, it has been Bingham for the last 3 years. Every year, we're going to get them. Lost them in championship games, lost them in semifinals, lost them regular season. Have not knocked them off. Coach Brandon Matic and the Leopards lost after going for 2 in the regular season. Well, all they do is go into Bingham and hang on for dear life down the fourth quarter. That defense saved the day.
Yeah. Normally, I try to prepare myself. Will you just hold this? I'm getting really hot, man. I'm sorry. This is just terrible.
He said on Twitter that he had something prepared for me.
Fool me 30 times. There you go. Hey, it might have taken a while, but how about the Leopards? You talked about got to get over that mountain, and they did it this year. And, you know, for Coach Matic, I know I texted him that night. I was like, Coach, congratulations, man. Heck of a win. And you could just tell how excited he was for this group. And you even saw on Twitter some of the players saying, hey, this is for all of East, all the players that have come through the program. It was a momentous win for those East Leopards. You had an impressive kick return by Nick Sessions, 98-yard kick return for a touchdown by Session. You had Iverson Tapiso with 2 rushing touchdowns that ball game. Bingham had, you talk about the defense of East, 4 possessions inside the East 35-yard line, 0 points for the Bingham offense. East came to play. Things got a little tight late, but the East Leopards took care of business.
I watched the end of that one on the stream. I mean, the turnover, East has a turnover. You think, oh, here goes a shot. Bingham, nope. East turns them away, 4th and 1. Turn them back, force a turnover. Oh my heavens! Congratulations to East. And if you're going to get it, you want to earn it, and they got it. Congratulations. Now is the monkey off the back of East and just allow them to run free? Because I know right now they're preaching their underdogs. We'll have a prediction later. Now they get the AF Cavemen, who scored 54 points on them in the regular season. This is going to be a fun one up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. We'll preview that one in the moment. Yeah, congratulations to the East Tide Leopards getting back to the semis. All right, 5A. Well, what happens when the south end of your bottom end of your bracket just absolutely explodes? Congratulations to Timpview going into Provo. Provo had all the expectation in the world, got up 7-0, and Timpview pitched the shutout.
Yeah, great job by Timpview, Dusty, and the response that they had. How about getting back to running the football? And I mean, you really saw a team dedicated to running, only threw it when they wanted to, right? Not have to, but that offensive line I thought played great. I thought they really were able to get to second level against Provo, open up some huge running lanes. Targi Lamson, we talked about him. He was on a show. Moa had an impressive day running the football as well. Carson Ryan, tight end, we talked about him, was a matchup problem. Had one of the best catches you'll see all year long for a touchdown. This Timpview team, we talk about playing at the right time. They're playing the right kind of football at the right time. And this is a team, when you look at 5A, I think very imperative amongst the teams that are remaining. Timpview has as good of a shot as anyone, Dusty, to walk out with a state championship this year.
Well, first time since 2015. It feels like a millennia ago. And if you don't like playing at Timpview, you have to like playing at Rice-Eccles Stadium, because that's just what happens. And for the last 4 years, they hadn't been able to, or last 3 years, hadn't been able to get back. Well, they do, and they do it with an impressive win over Provo. Let's look on the other end. I had Farmington getting to the semifinals, and Coach Dan Coates in the Phoenix ran into Lehigh, and all that. It was the Lehigh defense scoring 14 points.
Yeah, and they were trailing 14-0. That defense really showed up. Had 2 pick 6 in that one. A scoop and score as well as Lehigh gets the victory over Farmington. Congratulations
to Lehigh getting back after a year being gone. And they get to face Timpview, a rematch. It's a theme, folks. It's a theme. All right, let's go to the other one. Orem and Olympus. We talked about Olympus had a shot in this one. Not only did they have a shot, looked like they might get a win.
Yeah, I mean, well, it looked like Orem was just going to steal this ball away, but fumble it. Olympus able to score, fumble it again. Olympus with a chance to go and get the game winner or tying field goal, and they end up losing it. But hey, Orem, talk about a response, 21-0 third quarter, able to propel them coming from behind to defeat Olympus. And hey, great year for the Olympus Titans coming up just short in the quarters.
Yeah, tough one for Coach Whitehead and crew. And Orem now moves on to the semifinal, the reigning 4A champion. And that means they get to take on the #1 seed, Salem Hills. Told you, I said it last week, they may have won on a field goal in the regular season. They came out in a big way against Wasatch.
I told you last week, I thought Wasatch had a great shot to win this ball game. Sorry, Salem Hills, I got that one wrong. 37-0. This was all Salem Hills from the beginning. Elmer with 2 passing touchdowns, Ware with 2 rushing touchdowns as Salem Hill cruises.
So congratulations. That means Salem Hills and Orem in the semis.
Good one. Sign me up.
Yeah, man, this is going to be fun. So we'll be there as well. All right, 4A. Dixie and Stansbury, and if you're going to talk about Dixie, you got to talk about Reggie Graff.
3 rushing touchdowns. Fau Molina with a pick 6 as well for Dixie as they cruise.
Absolutely cruise. Dixie getting a 42-14 win over Stansbury. Very, very impressive. Getting back to Rice-Eccles Stadium, and that means they get to take on, well, how about this one? Skyview routing Mountain View 56-13.
35-6 at half. Carlson with 5 touchdowns in this ballgame, 3 passing, 2 rushing. Falslet had a pair of receiving. Skyview, Dusty, picked him. That's going to be a great semifinal, by the way.
By the way, top 5 plays, I got the name wrong. 2 guys caught it. Falslet came out with it. Can you do? It was late. All right, Pineview. McLeod Croton getting it done.
He almost didn't get it done, Dusty. It was 36-22 Green Canyon at the start of the 4th quarter. An unwavering belief. I love that line shared from the article on Deseret News this week. Crum with a 76-yard passing touchdown to Mullen. Had a 10-yard touchdown run with 22 seconds left as they come from behind in the 4th quarter and advance to the semifinal.
And they get the Cache Valley bugaboo off.
Yeah,
My Adams Green Canyon, and they open this year with Ridgeline.
Yep.
Hey, just don't score over 50 points and you win. Congratulations as me to Coach Hasna. Oh, that makes me happy. All right, how about this one? A barn burner. Park City, Snow Canyon.
Yeah.
What is this, 3A football? No, Adam Timo stealing this one away from Jared 2 and the Miners, as it was a new crowd getting done for Park City.
I think the best start. I think the best season in Park City history. I thought I saw in like 100 years. 12-0 for the first time ever, and the game-winning touchdown coming in the 3rd quarter. You mentioned 14-10. It was Johansson with the game-winning touchdown run. And hey, doesn't matter how you get it, right? Some coaches say there is no such thing as an ugly win. Yeah, there is. 14-10 and Park City advances.
A win's a win, right? You don't get to move extra spaces to win by more points. All right, we are going to go through the rest of them. 3A. How about a shocker in 3A as the number 1, North San Pete, goes down 10-7 without giving up an offensive touchdown.
Well, I was going to say, Dusty, defense does win championships because if you're Morgan, the only offensive point you had was a 2-point conversion. You got a safety and you had a pick 6. Enough to get past North San Pete 10-7.
Stunning win for the Morgan Trojans. And the Juab Wasps hold off Grantsville 22-20.
How about 12 wins for Juab this year, the most since 1997. Cade Bowering getting the job done for the Wasps as they advance to the state championship.
Cade Bowering, been talking about him all year. All right, here we go. Dusty versus Dane.
Yeah.
Beaver. How about Duchesne? Duchesne, the Eagles, nearly upset the apple cart. If it weren't for a great play in the end zone, Beaver might have lost.
I'll tell you, 9 turnovers in this ballgame, Dusty. 9 times.
Oh, my heavens.
9 turnovers, 4 from Beaver, 5 from Duchesne. You talk about that Duchesne defense, it locked up the Beaver rushing attack. Had a chance to talk with Coach Marshall after, said, hey, we need a little bit of a wake-up call. Starting to, things coming too easy. They hadn't scored fewer than 40 points all year long.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it. What do you do late when a game is close if you're Beaver? Well, we found out. They come out with a gritty win, 14-7 over Duchesne, and advance to the state title.
Congratulations to Beaver for getting there. Now, Milford. The Milford men, they're up against it, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter, but luckily you got Bryson Barnes.
They were down 21-12 with 5 minutes to play, Dusty. I mean, it did not look good. Their offense, they were getting pressure on Barnes, and all of a sudden, Barnes had about a 40-yard run that really started to open things up and got a touchdown just under 5 minutes left. They made a stop. The game-winning touchdown to Sherwood from 10 yards out. They went for 2 to even up the score. They got it, but in the end, Milford able to come back in the 4th quarter. And, that 2A final is going to be fantastic, seeing as how both favorites had really close ball games to help a little smelling salt, get everyone refocused and reset for the upcoming state championship.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. We'll preview that one right now. All right, let's go to the 6A first, and East and AF. I mean, this was an absolute barn burner the first time. We talked about 54 points for the Cavemen at East. Are we going to have 100 combined points in this one?
Well, I think a game in the first matchup with no punts. And, if you're East, you turn the ball over a couple times. They've done that in some key moments. Coach Match said, hey, we practice that every practice. If you're East, look, you got the monkey off the back in Bingham. That's great. Get that out of your mind and come ready to focus and ready to play against AF. This is an AF team that could put up a lot of yards, put up a lot of points, but if you're East, all you need is 1 turnover, 1 stop or 2, and the way their offense worked against AF early in the year, you feel like you got to have some confidence there. I think this is going to be a real high scoring. I don't think we'll see as many points as we did the last time around. This is going to be a real great semi.
Weather can be a big thing. Does it keep the spread offense from AF? But we saw they can run the ball.
Doesn't matter,
Gregory can tote the rock. We've seen him play in 60-mile-an-hour winds. They can get it done. And for East, biggest thing to me is turnovers. Mindless turnovers. They got to take care of the football with what they do. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think both teams go over 30 points.
I don't think 160 and 150, though.
We'll have a prediction coming up.
We'll see.
Really, really soon, brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. The other side, how about a rematch? How about a heartbreaking one that sent 2 teams in 2 different directions? Lone Peak, Corner Canyon. Lone Peak wants it. They had 2 minutes and 14 seconds or whatever it was, up multiple scores. Can they get the ship righted against Corner Canyon?
I'll tell you this, the way Lone Peak played against Skyers, that was the best Lone Peak has played all year long. And my personal opinion, if they can play like that, this can be a ball game. I don't know if they're going to win it, but this could be a ball game. And if you're Corner Canyon, you've been on kind of smooth sailing the last couple of weeks, better come ready to play. And again, you better keep an eye out for that Lone Peak defense, that pass rush. Have a feeling they're going to have some special things in the works. Coach Denny and all that defense, this is going to be another really, really good one.
Corner Canyon, mark me if I'm wrong, has not scored less than 40 points since that Lone Peak game.
Yeah.
I think all but one's gotten into 50.
I think anyway.
Mercy. Yep. And it's the defense too. So all right, that sets that one up. We'll have picks coming up in a minute. 5A, Lehigh versus Timpview. This was a routing at Timpview in the first matchup.
Yeah, and if you're Lehigh, you hope that offense, didn't have a great showing last week against Woods Cross. You hope you get that righted this week. I'll tell you what, that Timpview defense is all over. And that secondary in particular, Dusty, they come high flying. They're going to hit you and hit you hard. And you always have to be aware of where Peely is and where Moa is. And that secondary, those safeties, they'll come up and they'll lay it to you. I think it's going to be a really interesting ball game. But the way Timpview played last week, watch out for the T-Birds.
Let's hope Ed Larson can stay on the sideline in this one.
Yeah. Good one.
Last one.
Yep.
All right, and then the other end, Orem versus Salem Hills. How good is Salem Hills?
Yeah, well.
Everyone wanted to know. Here you go.
They keep winning ball games.
They're the Olympus of last year.
Right, and Elmer, boy, what a year he has had. And love to see them get, Ware involved last week with some rushing touchdowns. If they can deal with the physicality of Orem, here's the thing about Orem last week. Sewell only scored 1 touchdown. You had Tua Severa with a touchdown. Faya threw for a pair. This Orem team has some options on offense. If you're Salem Hills defensively, better get ready to defend multiple guys. It's not just Noah Sewell. This is going to be a real interesting matchup as well.
Very interesting, and we'll pick that one too. All right, now let's go to 4A because we'll have these games. We're calling them all. Pineview versus Park City.
Boy, 2 different styles. Pineview up and down the field. Park City going to try to slow you up, get that option going. I think the Pineview defense is going to have to be really aware of trying to cut down the effectiveness of the Park City option, right? If Park City is able to drain the clock, then they don't care if Croton goes for 4 touchdowns because he's only getting 4, right? Pineview's offense has to find ways to get on the field. That means stopping that Park City offense and limiting the effectiveness of their option attack.
Well, and McLeod Croton's not be able to throw it. When you got the ball for Pineview, you got to make it count.
Yep.
Because the best way to defeat some of these teams, the best way to defeat those teams, the high-powered offense,
the ball away from them.
Keep that quarterback on the sideline with what you do on the run of the football. How about 2 teams that one likes to run it. They got explosive players, Dixie and Skyview. This 4A semis is going to be awesome.
I'll tell you what, this might be the highest scoring game of all the games up at Rice Eccles. I think this one's going to be a wide open affair between the Cats and the Flyers. Graf, what a year he has had. What a career he has had for Dixie. Great to see them back up at Rice Eccles, but this Skyview team, Dusty, they have flown under the radar all year long. I mean, they haven't. They've been up there, but I don't think they've been talked about as much in this classification as they probably deserve. Carlson and company, watch out. I think this is going to be a really entertaining way to end the day.
It's not a good sign my voice cracks just talking about that game, the way that game could go as well. Yeah. So what predictions cover that one? All right, we'll go predictions now because we have, we'll preview it. Let's preview it. 2A, 3A championship game, Juab and Morgan.
Yeah, well, both my teams are out, so whatever.
One name, Cade Bowering.
Well, I was going to say, right, that Morgan defense is good. Obviously, they got the safety, they got a pick 6. Can they stop Bowering? And that Morgan offense is going to have to show up. I know the North San Pete defense is really, really good, but they're going to have to find a way to get some more points against Cade Bowering and that Juab offense. You look at Juab, and they led 15-0 on Grantsville. Grantsville made a heck of a comeback to come back late. Didn't have enough, but how do you try to slow up Bowering? How do you try to take away that offense? And Morgan's going to have to find a way to put some points on the board. That offense, second half of the year, has felt like it's been a little slow out of the gate. They've got to start quickly.
Well, one thing Juab knows who they are, and they're going to stick with it. They're not changing a whole lot to that. And we'll pick from that one. All right, Milford and Beaver.
Yeah, well, mentioned, Dusty, these 2 teams both got a bit of a wake-up call this week. That Beaver attack did not look very comfortable. I know for Coach Marshall, all right, we'll get back and we'll get to work. They did some things against Milford that I believe they're probably going to try to do again on the defensive side, try to take away the effectiveness of Barnes in that offense. But if you're Milford, the way they played that semifinal, I didn't love some of the ways they were trying to attack. It felt like in the 4th quarter they finally started to get back to some things and started to attack some opportunities that were given to them by the Miller defense. You don't really have time to waste in this ballgame. You got to come out and take advantage of your full allotment of 48 minutes. You cannot give up drives to the Beavers. If you do, you're likely going to find yourself from behind. They have the kind of offense to come back from a deficit. I just don't know if Beavers going to let them. You've got to come out strong if you're Milford.
All right, let's go to our picks, brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. If you want to further your career, the Utah Army National Guard is there to help you.
Sure is. Over 150 different career path options available through the Utah Army National Guard. Up to $20,000 signing bonuses available depending on which career path you choose. Not just about military service, medical, engineering, all sorts of different ones you can check out and learn more at www.nationalguard.com.
All right, we're going picks, and we're picking championship games first because we go semifinals last.
All right.
And we're starting with the smallest classification. Doesn't mean they're the smallest hearts. But here we go. 2 teams, 1 exit. There can only be 1 champion.
Yep.
Milford and Beaver. I took a picture on a drive home the other week. Thought Dane and I were on opposite ends on this beginning. Milford and Beaver, who you got?
Dusty, I'm a believer. And when you declare something, you stick with it. It treated me well with East Bingham this week. I'm not abandoning the Milford bend now. Go Milford! I got the Tigers.
Oh, I went red and blue, and I stuck with blue.
Yeah.
It just happens to be in my blood a little bit. Beaver, don't you dare get caught looking for. There's nowhere to look forward. Go get them. Took care of them before. Not that we really do care. We like being right, but I don't care that much. Beaver, I'll stick with Beaver. I picked them before.
Yeah.
Got them on this one.
All
Beaver.
good.
All right.
Good.
3A championship. Juab versus Grantsville. Or probably Morgan.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Morgan, thanks. Thanks for taking out my state champ. Just for that, go Juab. I got the Wasps. I think Cade Bowering, great game for them against Grantsville. I think he's going to be too much in the end, and Dusty's going to get this one right.
Yeah, Cade Bowering, I was on it early.
Yeah.
Loved what I saw from Juab. Go get them, Wasps. This is going to be a good one. All right, semifinals. We'll start in 4A. We'll just start making our way up. 4A semis, Skyview versus Dixie.
I'm going to go with Skyview in this one. I think that offense, Dusty, has something to show. Dixie has shown that they can give up points. They don't always do. Their defense is good, but they've shown an ability where they have given up points in losses. I got Skyview in this one coming down to Rice-Eccles getting the win in cooler evening temperature in November.
Be cold.
Yes, it will.
I think last time out, this is just my memory, Skyview versus a St. George team was against Pineview way back when.
Okay.
And they went the way of the Pineview Panthers. So I'll stick on that theme, if you will.
Yeah.
Plus, I've been on Dixie for a while. I'm going Dixie. Graph, Flyers. Plus, I picked them to win it earlier. All right, other side of the bracket. Park City and Pineview.
Well, in our bracket, I originally picked Park City to win this
Yeah.
ball game. I don't know, upon seeing more, happening, I don't know if Park City is going to be able to slow down Pineview enough. They've got to find a way to keep Pineview's offense off the field. I'm going to stick with Park City. That's what I do, right?
Yeah.
You have a matchup, you picked it one way, you're going to stick with it. I'm going to go with the Miners, trying to add to the best season in school history.
Now, here's the thing. If it's Dixie versus Pineview, that game's played in St. George.
Right.
We call all the championship games on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. I want to call a championship game. I'm flipping the script. I'm going Park City because I want to call the 4A championship.
All right.
I don't think we
I
get
do
sent to
too.
St. George for that one. I don't know we have the budget for that one.
The schedule isn't going to work out even if
No,
we
it
did.
wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Because they'd play at the same time.
Yep.
All right, sorry, Pineview. I feel bad on that one. 5A championship game. No matter what happens, we got this one. Let's go first, Orem versus Salem Hills.
Really interesting, Dusty. I mean, we talked about Orem, their physicality, the multitude of options on offense. You got to take care of the football, man. Can't have fumbles in the fourth quarter if you're going to beat the number 1 team, Salem Hills. Okay, so just don't fumble the football. I got Orem.
We picked Orem early in the 5A championship game. This can upset some friends in the southern Utah County area. I'm not going against Orem on this one. They got their game out of the way. They didn't play overly well against Olympus. Olympus is that good.
They are good.
They're that disciplined. Salem Hills has a chance because they got a common belief. But I don't know they got enough. I'll go Orem, stay on that one. All right, bottom half of the bracket, Lehigh versus Timpview.
Well, to me, and maybe I'm putting too much stock in 48 minutes, it's hard when you're right there. I saw what Timpview did at Provo. I know they lost to Lehigh earlier this year. Timpview's playing the best football they've played all year. I'm a believer in Targi Lamson, Moa, Allen, Damouni, Paley. A lot of options, a lot of guys you got to worry about. Carson Ryan, I got Timpview.
It's interesting because I know we had a good source that Lehigh after that game was like, hey, we want him. We got him again, we got him. I don't know. I'll go Timpview. Timpview at Rice-Eccles Stadium, they play really well.
We do.
All right, let's go to 6A. We wanted the rematch, we got it.
Yep.
Corner Canyon, Lone Peak.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Has there ever been a 20 seed in a semifinal? The answer is no.
No.
Has there ever been a team that had to forfeit half their season and ended up coming to the playoffs 1-9, making it to a semifinal? No. At least I don't think so.
Oh, I can't remember what East records went that year.
I think they were like 500.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 5-5 or something like that.
Yeah. Look, at the beginning of the season, I thought Lone Peak was the best team in the state. I think they have a shot to still show that, the way that defense is playing. Offense, this is your time. This is your time to show up, if for no other reason, to help Dane feel better about an argument that we had at the beginning of the year. I'm going to stay with Lone Peak.
All right.
That Corner Canyon offense can score. Corner Canyon's playing the best football across the state right now. I'm just a man of my word, so I'm going to go with the Knights.
Preseason, that was our one argument.
Yeah.
Who's number one? Our 30 for 30. I was on Corner Canyon. He was on Lone Peak. I started his waiver a little bit, but I never go against the boys from Draper. Even when it was out to high school, give me the boys from Corner Canyon. Chargers getting to the 6A championship game. Now for another rematch. Red and white versus red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
AF versus East.
Man, two contrasting styles, eh? And this game in the regular season was one of the most entertaining games all year long. Who would have thunk we would have had that many points scored? It's near 100. I've gone back and forth on this one. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of AF. Are they going to come and sling it all over the field, or are they going to come and line up and try to power it past? They can do either one. And I know if you're East, there's some things that they tried to scheme against AF the first time that weren't executed like they wanted. Maybe they're able to get that lined up better this second time around. Hey, you know what? You slayed the monster once. I know I picked AF earlier.
This is better than Corso's headgear. Now rip it off.
I'm going with the Leopards.
Not even with a crowd behind us. That's good.
Right.
That is good. You know, I'm hated by certain people, fan bases. They don't think I like them. That's not true at all. But I did text Coach Matic and didn't get the win before. They didn't beat AF. Give me AF. Madsen, Downing, Gregory. This one's close, by the way. I said both teams score over 42-38 is my feel on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be high scoring.
Yeah, it's going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
Cavemen back in the championship game. And all region. Nothing else. I need an all-region 4 championship to continue my homerism. Where do you stand? Who you got winning this weekend? Championship games, 3A, 2A. Who you got winning the semifinals? We're going to be there. Join us at live.ksl, deseretnews.com for the 4A, 5A, 6A games at Icicle Stadium. Gonna be a good one. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.